U.S. President Donald Trump on Wednesday declared Jerusalem as Israel's capital, hailing it as very fresh thinking and a repudiation of the same failed strategies of the past employed by his predecessors. "It is time to officially recognize Jerusalem as the capital of Israel," Trump said from the White House. Trump also said he would direct the State Department to begin the process of moving the U.S. Embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. While Trump is fulfilling campaign promises domestically on both decisions, the U.S. risks infuriating the Muslim world, potentially sparking protests that could fray American alliances in the volatile Middle East. Reactions from leaders in both the Mideast and around the world had already ranged from concern to alarm in anticipation of Trump's announcement. Mahmoud Abbas, president of the Palestinian Authority, said Trump has destroyed America's credibility as a Mideast peace broker, adding in a televised statement that the decision is a declaration of withdrawal from the role it has played in the peace process. "Jerusalem is the eternal capital of the state of Palestine," he said. In Gaza, protesters burned American and Israeli flags. Hamas, the militant group that controls Gaza, called Trump's recognition of Jerusalem as Israel's capital flagrant aggression against the Palestinian people. Hamas urged Arabs and Muslims to undermine the U.S. interests in the region. Jerusalem's status is one of the most emotionally charged matters separating the Israelis and Palestinians. Both sides stake claims. Israel captured East Jerusalem claimed by Palestinians for the capital of a future independent state from Jordan in 1967 and annexed it, in a move not internationally recognized. The U.S. Congress passed the Jerusalem Embassy Act in 1995, but every president since then has signed waivers to hold off moving the embassy. "After more than 2 decades of waivers, we are no closer to a lasting peace agreement," Trump said Wednesday. The embassy move would take years to complete, experts believe. U.S. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson, in Germany, called Trump's decision a bold move, and said planning for a site for a Jerusalem embassy would begin immediately. While acknowledging the policy shift could lead to disagreement and dissent, Trump said it should not be interpreted as being one-sided. The U.S. was still deeply committed to facilitating a lasting peace agreement between the U.S. and the Palestinians, the president said. But that message comes after he has moved to restrict travel to the U.S. from several Muslim-majority countries and retweeted controversial memes concerning Islamist violence. In reaction to Trump's announcement Wednesday, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said in a pre-recorded speech that he was profoundly grateful, calling it an essential step towards a peace process. "There is no peace that doesn't include Jerusalem as the capital of Israel," he said. Jerusalem's Old City is home to several Jewish, Christian and Muslim holy sites, and Netanyahu said Israel will always ensure freedom of worship. Danny Danon, Israel's ambassador to the United Nations, called it a courageous decision on Trump's part.